Sold for 200 Canadian.
Yeah, bro, they're going for dumb amount of money right now. Because I don't know why. I know they're sold out, but I just think it's dumb that they're selling for that much.
They're used at 200.
Yeah, it's crazy. You could get that much. That would cover your RAM if you wanted to build a PC. Maybe a hard drive that much.
I don't mind putting the money into my PC though. Like I'm not too pressed for the money. I just kind of like the reason why I never did it was I don't know, like I don't know, I never had a reason. I don't really use a computer, dude. I'm not a computer guy.
There's something about getting in front of a powerful PC, bro. Like doing shit on it. So much.
But like I don't do anything on the computer, that's the thing. I would only use it for gaming. And I guess I would do like stocks with it. That's the reason why I want to do it now is because I want to get like stock software.
My computer is my entertainment for my pretty much.
Really? You use your computer a lot?
Yeah, dude, it's like my entertainment center. My whole room is built around.
Really? It makes sense because that's like it's the most powerful technology device you can buy, right? As a PC. But it's just like
you can I have hard drives full of video games, music, movies.
But I don't like playing video games with the keyboard. That's the thing. I think that's like that's like why I'm so like against them or like so kind of weird with them. Because I can never see myself like playing video games on a PC. Like I would need the original controller to play a video game. Like it's how my mental works almost.
That's how it was at first. I just started with. I figured it out. Oh, let's do it. I thought the same thing at first. The more I used it, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
To the point where I couldn't use the controller anymore. I'm using it right now. I'm fucking... We're close. What you shooting at, boy? What you shooting at?
Fuck.
Don't even play controller, bro. Fucking slapping you with these 144 frames.
Can't even see you.
It's a close one. It's like 2018.
Bro, the monitor is an Asus monitor, I think.
I have an Asus monitor too.
240 hertz.
How much was it?
I think it was like 450 Canadian.
Oh. Oh, I had my edit.
Netflix are nice.
I was stuck with my edit. Like, I had to edit in my hand. I couldn't get rid. I didn't know how to get rid of it. The only way I know how to get rid of an edit is to pull out your pickaxe. Right? Honestly.
Oh, do you have confirm on release on?
No, I don't use it.
Well, once you just release the button, it puts you back into your.
Yeah, I just don't use it. I should, but no. Still more in control. Why you stuck? You know what I mean? I like the fact that I have to like do this thing. Sometimes.
Yeah, you edited me with you for the entire thing. You had me like down the ramp, and then you did do like through the floor, and then you did another ramp.
I did like 3 edits and like.
Yeah, bro, your edits were nice, but like I was beside you the entire time. They would have worked, honestly.
I don't even use edit on these cracked edit. On PC I use double edits. I don't use edit on those. These 2 buttons edit.
On PC it makes sense. I use 2 buttons too, but On, because edit on release just lets you do 2 buttons instead of 3.
Yeah, I'm about to turn it on right now and see what it feels like. You just need to build the PC.
It's gonna be awkward for like,
when are you gonna do it, do you think?
I don't know, like I think soon. Like I've been Googling it. Usually when like I start doing this, pretty close to buying something.
The first time I've seen you do that. It's like kind of. I like getting like these big walls. These are pretty fun. I don't mind it. It's like you gotta like think, oh, should I edit this so he doesn't break it? You know, it's like how wide do I edit?
Here comes the sprayer. Blah, pow, 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 pow. I think I'll make a PC like. Whoa, is the RAM the most important thing?
It plays a part though. It's like overlooked. People overlooked it. Like I overlooked it when I built mine. And honestly, I regret it.
Really?
Like, it makes a huge difference in the frames, especially if you have like a high refresh rate monitor. It can be the difference between getting.
You said between what?
You want to get. It can be the difference maker between you getting the frames that you need for your monitor to match your hertz. It can be like the RAM can be that factor, but most people overlook that. You want to get decent RAM. You want to get like write this down, bro. I'm gonna tell you, it's like 3200 megahertz, CL14. Look for that RAM right there. That's literally gonna be like
34 or 24?
3200.
Oh.
C14. 3200 C14. When you're looking for RAM, look for those specs, bro. That's gonna be really.
3200 C14 versus 3600 C16. Is that a different type of RAM?
Is that, are you looking at the video or something? Well, it's like that's like really fast RAM, bro. It's like fast RAM with nice tight timings. So the frame, it affects the frames, bro.
Okay.
So
I'm mostly gonna be ordering a 3200 kit tomorrow. I want to make sure something like this. Gaming.
I'm gonna probably buy that kit soon. The one it's recommended. I'm gonna. What? If you get a better motherboard, you can get even faster RAM. My motherboard, that's the best I can get for my motherboard. I'm probably gonna buy that when my government check. I wanna buy this RAM and it's hard to.
You're just gonna upgrade your PC with the government money? Yo, best thing to do is actually spend it though. Funny enough, because your American dollar, think about it. When everybody's getting these checks, your taxes aren't going up. They're inflating the money. They're printing money and they're giving it out for free. Which makes each and every dollar that you own less valuable. So like, and the inflation's gonna hit hard. A lot of people have been talking, dude, if instead of investing in stocks, honestly, what I think I'm gonna maybe transition part of my portfolio, or like almost like 40%, maybe like bitcoins or like different types of coins. Because I think this entire, like, if we have like a big economic collapse, then like everybody's dollar is gonna be fucked, and everybody's dollar is fucked because of inflation right now. The Canadians printed just as much. Like our Canadian dollar is in the toilet right now, and it's gonna be even worse going forward. There's a guy who wrote this book named Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's very well respected in like the entrepreneur space and everything. Like everybody talks about this guy's book, and it's literally about like learned behaviors with like finances or whatever. It's just a very good book. But anyways, this guy, he recommends that you abandon the American dollar, and he says if you don't believe in bitcoins, he says another alternative would be gold, but it's not going to increase as much, so your wealth isn't going to grow as much. Or you go for silver, which is the most undervalued resource right now apparently. But and he's not alone, dude. There's another guy, Raoul Pal. If you look this guy up, he was the hedge fund manager for Goldman Sachs. He's not a hedge fund manager anymore, but he used to be. So the guy still knows something about finances. And his recommendation is to go into bitcoins and to drop the American dollar. He doesn't even believe in oil coming back. He's very skeptical about oil even as a commodity.
Oil, I mean, oil is gonna run out eventually.
Oil will, but like the issue right now is that everybody's turning into like my take on the whole oil crisis, because you know what's happening with oil right now, right? You know why it's so cheap. Everybody gathered together. So basically, everybody gathered together during the crisis, like an OPEC meeting, and they said, like we're gonna hold our oil prices at a steady level, not crash it, so we don't crash the oil economy. And everybody was saying yes, except for the Russians. The Russians said no, I want to sell my oil because like fuck all you guys, like I'm cashing out right now. But instead of everybody holding their price, now the Russians flooded the market, and the Arabs from Saudi Arabia, they know that they can make oil for cheaper than the Russians, so they actually increased production 3 times just to outsell the Russians, just so they really cash in the most. So like right now there's just way too much Russian and Saudi oil flooding the market, and like it resulted in the price going to like nothing. But I think what's happening, dude, what I think is happening is, you know how in Europe they banned gasoline cars, like the production of gas cars by 2020 or whatever, or 2025?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's relatively
Wait,
soon.
what?
That means
Wait. I actually zoned out. What you just say that again? They banned the gas cars in like
the sale
where?
of gasoline cars. So Europe, I think Germany and Europe. Germany,
That's crazy, dude.
gasoline car ban.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
2030.
so
Yeah, by 2030
it's
there's gonna be no more.
It's gonna run out probably by the end of the day. By the end of the century.
No, we have like 100 years of oil right now. A lot of these countries have 100 years left. But if they ban, my theory is that if they ban gasoline cars by 2030 in all of Europe, that means that like you're never gonna cash in on 100 years of oil. You're still gonna have like 95 years or 90 years of oil reserves, right? So why not cash in right now and just sell as much oil as you can for as cheap as possible, so that your competitor countries who also have 100 years, they sit on 100 years while you kind of deplete your oil reserve, but like now oil's not useful, so it's not like a commodity you got to sell all the time. And I think that's what the Russians are doing. I think the Russians know that oil is done and they have way too much oil, so they're gonna cash in right now, and like why not, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of countries are doing the same. I don't know what's gonna happen to oil. Oil's gonna be crazy. I have my money in oil, so I think it is gonna go back up for a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna stay as valuable.
It's gonna get rare. I'm not really common, but it's like that's shit.
Yeah, you know what's a commodity I would want to invest in is water. Fresh water.
It's gonna run out.
Dude, it will. Like, doesn't California and like parts of the United States run out of fresh water? And like you guys have to like ship it in from other states or like desalinate it?
Not too true. Holy shit.